Hi, everybody.
Hey, Darren.
Welcome to the White Hatter YouTube news show.
I should have let you say welcome first.
Yes, you should have.
Let's do that again.
Okay. Maybe I'll keep it in there. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the White Hatter YouTube news show.
Hey, Darren here.
And I'm Brandon. We got some interesting topics. Privacy today.
Have you noticed I got my swag on today?
Yes, you just finished doing a presentation.
We did. We got 14 this week, dude. 14 virtual presentations. I mean, how cool is that? We would never have been able to do that many pre-COVID when we were just doing the school visiting things, right? Like
That's true.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. And you know what? Last night we got a request from Thailand.
Yeah, that was an interesting email I saw.
Thailand! I mean, how cool is that? It's an international school who apparently heard about us online. They did some research. They really like us, so they want us to beam into their classrooms.
Cool.
I mean, how cool is that?
That's cool.
That's what's really cool about the virtual studio.
Hey,
oh, by the way, Santa was here on the weekend.
Yes, I heard.
We helped facilitate. A couple of his elves were here, and we used the White Hatter studio to beam him to children from the North Pole. Like he was up in the North Pole, and it was really cool because during COVID, you can't go into malls to sit on Santa's knee and that kind of stuff. So he said, "Hey, White Hatter, can you give us a hand?" We said, "Absolutely, we can." I said, "My big elf right here, he's got the means to do it, right?" And so we did it, and it went over so well. We're doing a second one next Saturday. He said, "Hey, White Hatter team, can you do it again on Saturday?" I said, "Absolutely." So December 12th, which is this coming Saturday, because this show is playing tomorrow, because today's Monday, so we're pre-recording for Tuesday, right?
Yes.
So this Saturday, December 12th, we're going to be doing it again. So if you're a parent who's watching and you'd like your child to have a virtual visit with Santa for about 5 to 10 minutes to share their Christmas wish list, we'll do it. All you need to do is email us, and our email is contact@thewhitehatter.ca. contact@thewhitehatter.ca, and we'll collect it, and then the elves will look after making it all happen.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Cool.
So what we got going?
Let's talk about some news.
In the news.
First on the news today is a word of caution about finding miracle cures on the internet, particularly reports coming up around fake COVID vaccines on the dark web.
This was predicted, right? Like as soon as the vaccines were coming out, there are going to be those who want to profit criminally off of these vaccines, right? And so they're, because they're not going to be able to produce enough to get it in everybody's arm all at once, right? So we're at least a good year out of getting everybody vaccinated, and even then it might be a little longer.
I think I saw a report from Canada. It was like 249,000?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that?
There's just not enough to get everybody done in the first round, right? So as a result of that, there will be those in the criminal enterprise that are going to want to try and profit off that by selling this stuff on the hot market when in fact it isn't real. So instead of injecting COVID-19, you're going to be injecting maybe bleach or something else, right? Like apparently there was a president who said that would work though. Anyways, back on topic. So I'm just saying, right? So we should
Until January.
Yeah, until January. Oh boy. So it shouldn't surprise us that there are going to be people who want to criminally profit. So for the people who are watching us right now, when it comes to COVID-19 vaccinations and cures, don't order anything off the internet, right? Like just don't do that, right? It's a scam, but people are desperate, right?
True.
People are desperate.
On a similar note, I guess we're getting a theme with today's program. Reports showing that there's been an increase in phishing attacks and scams versus high-ranking individuals who are within the supply chain distribution of COVID vaccines, which is interesting. We don't know who it's from yet, who's actually doing these phishing scams, but you can make an assumption it's someone who wants to make a profit.
So just for the viewers, can you please explain to them what phishing is again?
Yeah, essentially.
Because people like Cal, has some difficulty. You got to explain things. I just got his name in again. We got to explain. He sent us an email the other day saying, "I can't believe you're able to squeeze my name into all these shows." Right? Well, we are. But can you explain? Because there's going to be some viewers who've never heard us speak before who are watching right now. What does phishing, spelled with a PH?
Yes, basically,
what does that mean?
Scam messages trying to convince you to click on the link, go to a website that looks pretty legitimate. Might look like your Facebook page, might look like your Zoom login page, might look like your company login page. When in fact it's a copy and paste, and it's actually from some fraudulent website. Put your email in there, password, and that's how they capture your
So, I
credentials.
mean, with convenience comes vulnerability, right? So, to get these vaccines out, they're going to be using technology in order to do that. So,
Yeah.
I would imagine that the criminal element has probably recognized that as a vulnerability, because if I can get cryptoware into the supply chain, especially in the digital supply chain, to tie things up, well, then government's going to pay big business.
Yeah, I guess if you're a cyber criminal and you're able to like hold the distribution chain for ransom, I guess you would expect people would pay given the current situation.
Yeah, you just hope that those in government are taking the necessary steps to protect the digital infrastructure to prevent that from happening.
But these are private organizations.
I know,
right?
and the weakest link is always the human link, right? Because you can have the best protection in place, but if one of your employees just clicks on that phishing link, you're doomed.
The person in charge of distribution gets their account hacked and they're locked out.
I know, it's just like holy cow, right? But I mean, again, the criminal element are going to focus on things that are big right now, and that's big, right? So,
Yeah. So,
because we talked about this kind of about a year ago, right?
yeah, so apparently facial recognition software is making progress at recognizing masked faces. So again, like you said, in the beginning of 2020, we talked about how more people wearing masks. There's a lot of AI systems that are having issues.
I mean, a good example, my iPhone, because I use facial recognition. When I'm wearing a mask and I can't get in, right? I have to kind of.
Unless you get the ones where you like paint your mask on top of like the mask that's a print of your face.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways. But I mean, but what is this saying now?
Well, given that, AI developers have had now pretty much a year of just, fine-tuning their software,
Right.
Apparently there's a lot more different algorithms out there that are getting better at identifying people, who they are, through facial recognition, even though someone's masking their face with a mask.
It'll be interesting to see how accurate it is, because we know that facial recognition in and of itself is not necessarily as accurate as people say it is, right? Because
True,
remember,
and a lot of racial biases and
for
all
sure,
that
right?
stuff.
So I mean, there were a lot of false positives associated with the regular AI. So it'll be interesting to see what the success rate like this. But I could see this transferring over into like banks now, because bank robbers like to wear masks, right? Like that'd be kind of cool, right? Anyways, just saying.
I can see that.
So but you're right. They've had a whole year to kind of mess around with this because everybody's wearing masks, right? So they've basically had a huge data source,
pretty much,
to do their research, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. We'll see where this goes. I would love to know. It didn't say what the accuracy rate was in the article.
No, it just says, I mean, it's increasing. I don't know. I mean, there's different algorithms with different levels of accuracy.
Right.
So I guess they're all, it's getting increased likelihood of identifying.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Another article that you added onto the show notes in regards to apps allowing for devices, phones in particular, Android phones more specifically, being able to be hacked.
That's why iPhones roll. Just saying. Well, no, but iPhones can be vulnerable as well, right? But there's no doubt that the Android the Android store,
The Android Stone.
the Android store,
Hello.
the apps are more vulnerable because they're open source, right? But I mean, they are getting better at securing them. But this is a really good article to say, danger, danger, danger. Be very careful about the apps that you're downloading, right? Because again, with convenience comes vulnerability, and some of these apps are extremely convenient. But
it's pretty much making sure what you download is from a reputable source. Like if you download something, it's from Google, you're probably fine. You're downloading something from some no-name company that has one app and they only just released it. Okay, maybe not the best.
But it's free. It's free.
Yeah, true.
It's free.
Yeah. Last article in regards to privacy is an interesting one. This is an article from Martin Gruderson.
Martin who?
Gruderson. I probably butchered that name. But basically...
What?
Butchered?
Butchered. Burchard.
Butchered.
It's kind of like his name. That's why you got to live with that.
Oh, wow. All right.
You need
Sorry,
one of those
Martin.
things in front of your mouth, right? That you're talking about.
So basically,
He was Burchard.
security researcher decided to take some time and investigate data sources on, where their data online is being stored.
Hold on.
Oh dear, what are you doing?
Burchard. I just need to make a note of that. Okay, good.
Okay.
So what's going on with this one?
So they had the idea of, they have some apps on their phone
Yeah.
that can access their phone data and tracking ID data, and they decided to look into the who controls the data. So they figured out that there was this company called Ventel, who apparently are only blocks away from the CIA. Apparently that's where their headquarters are, and go figure. And And they decided to use the GDPR, which is the data protection law in Europe, and to force them to go, hey, send me my data.
Right.
And they were like, okay, let's verify who you are. And like, oh, fine, I guess we have to give it to you because it's the law. And then...
Is a legal phrase?
Yeah, that's a legal phrase.
Okay,
gotcha. That's used in court all the time.
Yeah. It's like Cal going, ga, 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 ga.
Yeah.
Right, gotcha. Just got his name in a second.
And so they received an email about a month later with 75,000 data points of where they've been on the world physically, location-wise, since February 15th. Oh. And as you can see from
Show me the picture. Blow that one up. I wonder where he lives or works.
Yeah. Interesting,
Look at that hot spot.
Interesting. They're trying to talk and like figure out, how the company works, and the response was, we will not comment any further on our business relationship or interpretation of the law. It's like, okay, because if you can see, like from the graph here, what they graphed out is, Ventel is only a small component. You have like these other bigger companies who control this data, and this whole like web of like data tracking.
And see, that's what people don't know, right? This is a multi-billion-dollar industry, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why we say to everybody, as soon as you hit that send button, it's public, permanent, searchable, exploitable, copyable, shareable, and a lot of it's for sale, right? Yes. Like, and this is big business. And I mean, there was, what was it, Spotlight? Was that one of the ones that we used to show what trackers were following us and stuff? Like, there's a variety. There's a variety of different apps out there that we can use, and Spotlight was. But
that program only captures like the individual company. It doesn't take into account like this whole web of like who owns all those companies, who's aggregating all that data.
So it could be one company that owns all these other smaller companies.
Precisely.
Bloody.
Or all the smaller companies are contracted to send their data to the bigger company for analysis and all that stuff. So, I mean, and apparently, looking
at... It's Elon Musk.
Yeah. I don't think Musk really cares about personal data. All Musk cares about is, like...
controlling the world.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
With Skynet.
Skynet. Boy, you're hung up on Skynet.
Skynet. Yeah. Skynet.
And obviously, the concern here is that these companies, through looking at legal documents, have actually been contracted by governments to like immigration, all that kind of stuff to figure out data on people. Mm-hmm. So it's it's just more data to show this what used to be an anonymous web of just companies working together to share data in order to track us.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of like what this sticker says right here, right? Let me just open it up. You are being watched, right? You are being watched, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the reality. You're being digitally watched, right?
Yeah.
As soon as you go online and start doing things, you're being digitally watched, right? Yeah. And by companies known and unknown, and what they're doing with that data, we don't know. I mean, but it is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and we just need to understand that, right? That digital trail. Yeah. Interesting. Today's show had a theme to it.
There were two themes. I think there was the COVID vaccines, scams, and scams.
Yeah, scams.
And then two was privacy.
No, there was the third one. Butchered. That was funny. Oh. I mean, it's a good show. I mean, again, quick to the point. I kind of like this format rather than kind of to drag it out.
Well, yeah, I guess our previous shows we kind of like put all the news topics, but I kind of wanted to pick out each show about 4 to 5 main topics to talk about and discuss.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good show. The other thing I kind of like, we're using we're getting new equipment right now, right? So we're using a new camera right now to shoot this, as people can probably see. Like the blacks are black, your shirt, the reds. I mean, it's a wider angle too. It's a very crisp, very clear.
Yeah, you'll probably see some different angles in the scenes being introduced as we upgrade some things.
Don't we have a top-down camera? Oh, we took it off because we have to use it, right?
No.
To do something else.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we have a top-down camera. We have a front camera. We're going to have another camera on an angle here. And then we have a green screen camera. I mean, it's just amazing what it is that you're doing. So, and we got a new Stream Deck coming in.
Yes, we have
we needed more buttons.
We have the Stream Deck XL coming in. Yes, not just this tiny one. We have the bigger one.
Right. So we have the super duper model big boy coming in. Right?
Pretty much,
big
yes.
boy coming in. And then we actually decided to upgrade some of the video capturing. We got like a Black Magic card?
Yeah, so we're upgrading. So right now we're using different capture cards. We're going to consolidate all the HDMI signals into a 4-input HDMI 4K capture card. So that should allow us to do some pretty cool additional things where we can have super wide and we can zoom because it's 4K, but you can't broadcast in 4K because you can't live stream yet in 4K. So what we can do is we can stream in 1080, which allows us to zoom in 4 times without really any significant quality issues.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
A good show.
Yeah, I loved it.
So on behalf of myself, I'm Darren.
And Brandon, thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Bye now.